Coming up on CBC Vancouver News.
All these individuals played a significant leadership role in directing criminal activities impacting multiple countries.
A cross-border crackdown leads to several arrests and charges against leaders of 3 major organized crime networks. Plus,
no company or corporate leader, no matter how large, should escape accountability.
BC prepares to take legal action against OpenAI months after the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting. And
it's very disappointing. It's left a lot of people out of work.
Going off the air, Rogers makes big cuts to radio stations in Vancouver.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Janella Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. New charges have been laid in the killing of prominent Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Surrey 3 years ago. The charges are part of an investigation into what officials say are organized crime groups based in India that operate around the world. Newly unsealed indictments say the imprisoned leader of the Bishnoi gang ordered the shooting of Nijjar. Caroline Bargut has more on the cross-border investigation and why some in the Sikh community say law enforcement is missing a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Shootings, murders, kidnappings, extortions, assaults, weapons and drug trafficking.
That is how U.S. authorities say 3 transnational Indian crime syndicates have been terrorizing and extorting people around the world. They say law enforcement executed warrants across California, Europe, and Canada. 24 people are now in custody, including 3 in British Columbia, the result of a 2-year investigation targeting 3 gangs and their leaders, the Lawrence Bishnoi Gang, the Jagu Bhagwan Paria organized crime group, and the Ravinder Singh Danda Gang, whose leader is a Canadian, now facing a minimum penalty of life in prison for running a drug trafficking operation.
All these individuals played a significant leadership role in directing criminal activities impacting multiple countries.
Lawrence Bishnoi has been in an Indian prison since 2015. Authorities say he ordered the 2023 assassination of prominent Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Surrey. An unsealed indictment says he had thousands of operatives around the world, including hundreds in the U.S. and Canada, some sent on student and foreign worker visas. The indictments don't accuse the Indian government of involvement, but some in the Sikh community aren't convinced.
Bishnoi is sitting in a high-security jail and having a high-tech access to the mobile phones and the apps, which you cannot have without being a proxy of the Indian state government.
Gurpatwan Singh Panu says he was a target of an assassination attempt that he blames the Indian government for. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused India of being involved in Nijjar's killing. In 2024, Canada expelled a number of Indian diplomats and last year declared the Bishnoi Gang a terrorist organization. But Mark Carney's government has been working to repair its relationship with New Delhi.
I think our RCMP chief, Mike Duhem, and our Canadian politicians are staying quiet on this issue because of Mr. Carney courting Mr. Modi for trade relations, for economic growth. And I think that is being put in front of human rights and the lives of Canadians.
RCMP say there's no evidence to suggest the Indian government is involved in this investigation. Caroline Bargut, CBC News, Vancouver.
The province is preparing legal action against OpenAI, alleging the company played a role in the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting by failing to warn RCMP about violent threats posted by the shooter. And as Michelle Gassoub reports, it's not the first time BC has taken a major corporation to court.
OpenAI is headquartered in California, and we are prepared to take this fight to them.
BC's Attorney General announcing the province will file a lawsuit against the company it says played a role in the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting.
The province is preparing legal action to hold artificial intelligence company OpenAI and its decision makers accountable.
OpenAI has faced criticism for failing to notify the RCMP about posts related to gun violence made by the shooter. CEO Sam Altman has since apologized to the community. In a statement, OpenAI said, "We have a zero-tolerance policy for using our tools to assist in committing violence." As we shared with Canadian officials, we have already strengthened our safeguards, including improving how ChatGPT responds to signs of distress. For the province, that doesn't go far enough.
No company or corporate leader, no matter how large, should escape accountability when public safety is at stake.
RCMP said in a statement, significant progress has been made in their investigation, adding, "We have not eliminated the possibility that charges could be laid." BC has previously taken major companies to court, including against big tobacco companies and opioid manufacturers. Michelle Gassoub, CBC News, Vancouver.
2 major radio stations in Vancouver are going off the air for good. Rogers Sports and Media says they are shutting down News 1130 and Sportsnet 650.
It's very disappointing. It's left a lot of people out of work. But to that point, I kind of have to agree that audiences are changing. We need to find these audiences where they are. And if they're not in the car, where are they? We need to adapt. Does that mean shutting down a bunch of radio stations? I personally don't think so.
Rogers says Vancouver's closures are due to declining audience and revenue trends across Canada. Sportsnet 650 has the broadcast rights to the Vancouver Canucks. The company says the games will air on other Rogers-owned radio stations next season. The CBC's Calgary reporter Karina Zapata has more on the impacts being felt right across the country.
Sportsnet 960 and 660 News Radio have been shut down by Rogers Sports and Media. The Calgary radio stations are among 6 across the country now shuttered by the company, citing declining audience and revenue trends. Stations in Vancouver, Halifax, and Kitchener have also been affected. In a statement to CBC, Rogers called it a difficult but necessary decision after a thorough review of its radio stations. One professor emeritus of journalism says he isn't surprised given the changing landscape.
We have a huge proliferation of podcasts. In many ways, podcasts started out in the sports world and also in the news world. Podcasts started out as ideas that came from radio, and now they're coming back and devouring radio.
And it means the Calgary Flames no longer have a radio broadcaster. Mike Richards says that's a tough blow. He hosted the first morning show on Sportsnet 960.
You're not going to have the Flames looking for a very long time, I wouldn't think, to have a broadcast partner. But in that's where the tap dance starts, right? This is when the courting starts.
The Calgary Flames have declined to comment. Rogers says it's cut 230 jobs in total, 80 of them at the shuttered radio stations. Karina Zapata, CBC News, Calgary.
A large structure fire in Coquitlam has left 1 person dead and nearby residents nervously watching from their windows.
I just heard the neighbors screaming, and then oh my God, it's actually, to be honest, it's quite painful just to think about if whoever owns that house, I can just imagine what kind of mental and emotional state they have to go through.
RCMP were called to a home on fire near Roderick Avenue and Hart Street. Coquitlam Fire Rescue Services found the body of 1 person inside the home. That person has not been identified. Neighboring homes were also caught up in the flames. An 18-year-old was treated at the scene, and 1 RCMP officer was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. Hundreds of nurses set up a picket line outside Vancouver General Hospital. The union says it's escalating job action amid reports of health employers allegedly trying to intimidate workers.
We were at the table last night until late. The health employers, the dialogue was very respectful in that instance, but they've made it clear they cannot do anything out of the government mandate for public sector bargaining, and so really we're not making any movement.
She says one of the biggest issues in negotiations remains staffing levels and the need to hire more nurses. The union says more picket lines will go up on Thursday at Surrey Memorial Hospital if a new contract deal isn't reached. BC Ferry says a mechanical issue at the Langdale terminal has forced the cancellation of many reservations and several sailings over the next few days. The Crown Corporation says it found a mechanical issue with the upper loading ramp on Sunday. This means vehicles can load and unload only from the main vehicle deck. BC Ferry says it understands customer confusion when videos online show empty decks due to the broken ferry ramp. All 6:05 p.m. sailings from Horseshoe Bay are canceled through to Thursday. Speaking of cancellations, there are likely more than a few disappointed campers after BC Parks says it was forced to close some of its tenting areas at two popular campgrounds in Garibaldi Provincial Park. A post on its website says multiple tent pads at Taylor Meadows and Garibaldi Lake campgrounds are closed due to a public safety risk from hazardous trees. It advises park users to follow signage to choose available tent pads elsewhere. BC Parks says it's working to identify the problem trees and will reopen affected areas as soon as possible. Gusty winds are a factor for crews battling the Brunswick Creek wildfire in the Fraser Canyon. It's burning out of control on the west side of the Fraser River near Boston Bar, and dozens of properties are under evacuation order. The fire has grown to about 18 square kilometers in size, with hot, dry, and windy conditions expected through the week. Forecasts call for potential wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers an hour with no significant rain. Darius Madavi is here to talk to us more about those hot and dry conditions. Darius?
Well, I want to talk about a few things. Like you said, hot, dry weather, along with that ongoing drought situation in southern BC, making those fires particularly an object of concern. But I wanted to mention the air quality, a lot of smoke being put off by those fires in the Fraser Canyon, which has been spreading. I mean, yesterday it was spreading down to the Fraser Valley. Today it was spreading further north and further east. So we're going to see more smoke coming off of those fires in the days to come. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch and warning from earlier today, and you'll notice that even though, if we zoom in here, we don't have radar coverage up here, we can get satellite detection of that lightning that is moving up and through that region. Again, the north not under drought conditions like the south is as of right now, so good news there. We may see some new fire starts, but hopefully we're seeing enough rain to offset some of that lightning. Again, that's not all dry lightning, it's just because we don't have radar coverage up there. Beyond that, I'm going to zoom into the south coast and briefly talk about the temperatures. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler than today. We get more inflow, so if you're inland, temperatures won't be quite as high as they were today, but humidex values still adding a couple degrees in the days to come.
All right, thanks so much, Darius. We'll check back in with you in a little bit.
Thank you.
A man who parked an ice cream truck van allegedly full of explosives on the W.R. Bennett Bridge in Kelowna is in court this week. The bomb scare happened in January 2025. It closed the major artery for several hours, causing significant delays for drivers. Brady Strachan has the latest.
Roy Winter is facing nearly a dozen criminal charges connected with the alleged bomb threat. This week, he's here at the Kelowna courthouse for a preliminary hearing ahead of his criminal trial. Winter is facing a total of 11 charges, including arson, possessing explosives, nuisance endangering life, and assault on a peace officer with a weapon, all connected to an explosion scare on the W.R. Bennett Bridge. In the early morning hours on January 27th of last year, Winter allegedly parked his white Mr. Chill ice cream van in the middle of the bridge and lit a fire inside. Police say they were able to coax Winter out of the van and took him to hospital, but concerns about the van and possible explosives inside prompted the RCMP to bring in a bomb squad from the Lower Mainland. The ordeal closed the only connection between Kelowna and West Kelowna for more than 10 hours, causing significant delays on Highway 97. Prior to the incident, Winter allegedly posted a long statement of grievances on social media against many, including police. The preliminary hearing is set to run until Thursday. Brady Strachan, CBC News, Kelowna.
The final World Cup game in Vancouver has come and gone. The impact the tournament has had on the city so far and what to expect going forward. That's next. The final FIFA World Cup game to take place here in Vancouver has wrapped up. It saw Switzerland move on to the next round. Our Jessica Chung was taking it all in from Granville Street's fan zone. We spoke with her right after the match.
Yeah, so this was a match between Colombia and Switzerland, and you know, we're here at a Colombia watch party outside the Union Latinos here on Granville Street, and anticipation and hope for these fans turned quickly into devastation here, you know, and we're finding dejected Colombia fans, as you can see behind me a bit, still trying to make sense of what happened just moments ago. You know, after a scoreless 90 minutes, another quiet 30 minutes of extra time, Colombia fell to Switzerland in penalty kicks. You know, the mood was down for a bit. We saw people who were getting emotional, crying for their national team, but the music then started. You could hear it behind me, and then these fans just started dancing. So, you know, The Colombians are resilient. They had a lot of hope going into this game, but unfortunately they fell to the Swiss in penalty kicks. And you know, win or lose, I mean, for the Swiss, of course, some of their fans are going to be really elated by this. They're going to the quarterfinals now, but win or lose, this is the last game of the FIFA Men's World Cup in 2026 that's going to be played on Canadian soil. Of course, the last game in Vancouver as well. And so, you know, now the Canadian chapter of this tournament is pretty much wrapping up, but there's still plenty to go. Switzerland's going to go on to the quarterfinals to play the reigning champions of the World Cup, Argentina. So that's going to be a very exciting match. And I think the Colombians here, as much as they are dejected, are going to continue to celebrate, continue to enjoy each other's company.
That's the CBC's Jessica Chung reporting. While Vancouver is winding down its time as a World Cup host, some of BC's best youth teams are preparing to descend on Nanaimo for their provincial soccer championships. As Claire Palmer tells us, hosting the tournament is expected to bring more tourists to the city.
The beautiful game, it's taken over British Columbia as Vancouver plays host to the FIFA World Cup. And while the Canadian men compete in that tournament, our province's top youth players are getting ready for provincials, being hosted in Nanaimo.
Well, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to bring people to our community, which is a great soccer community.
Coates has been busy preparing for Tier 1 provincials, otherwise known as the A Cup, that will crown the province's top club team, set to start on Wednesday. Over 2,500 people will be coming to town, according to Coates. He says with the World Cup happening in Vancouver, it was an opportunity for a community off the Lower Mainland to play host.
Travel can be a barrier, particularly for the island, from a cost perspective and a time perspective. So to be able to host teams from Victoria, Cowichan, Nanaimo, Comox Valley has several teams coming. It's really exciting because they're in their backyard. They know the area. Family and friends can attend far more easily.
Coates says part of what makes the tournament possible is a grant from Tourism Nanaimo. Created last year, it provides a boost to local sport organizations who are looking to host major events in the Harbour City and help boost tourism during the shoulder season.
I mean, sport tourism is really important to our overall tourism strategy. It gives us a really big boost during shoulder season because we have tournaments happening all year round.
Coates says he hopes the community comes out to the events and watches some good soccer.
Many of these young players, young men and women, could be the next players to step on the field for Team Canada. So come and watch them. They're emerging athletes from all over the province, and it's a heck of a lot of fun.
Nanaimo will be represented by the U18 women's team, who will hit the pitch on Wednesday as they start their campaign for BC's top soccer trophy on home soil. Claire Palmer, CBC News, Nanaimo.
A look at the day that was out at Deep Cove. Lots of people canoeing, kayaking, and paddleboarding. Darius will have your full weather forecast after the break.
So I know when I really like a song, if within the first 3 seconds, I'm already vibing to it.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Vibin' is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond.
It's not one person dictating what good music is, it's the community sharing what good music is.
Stream Vibin' on CBC Listen.
I'm Stephen Quinn, and I love living here in Vancouver, BC. It's a city with world-renowned beauty, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In our new daily podcast, This is Vancouver, we're exploring the diverse range of issues and stories in the city, the good, the bad, and everything in between, as told by the people who live it every day. Don't miss This is Vancouver, available wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll talk to you soon.
Donald Trump was contemplating Greenland's future again at the NATO Leaders Summit in Turkey. Member nations were hoping to mollify the U.S. president by showcasing billions in new defense spending, including Canada's new submarine deal. The CBC's Evan Dyer is traveling with the Prime Minister and has the details.
Prime Minister Mark Carney began his trip to the NATO summit by meeting the leaders of the two countries that won the competition to sell Canada up to a dozen submarines, Germany and Norway.
Stealth characteristics of the 2112.
Then with the president of the country that lost, South Korea. Canadian officials said they now hope to get the first subs a couple of years earlier than expected, 4 of them by 2034. That would probably involve Germany and Norway agreeing to wait longer for their deliveries so Canada can get them sooner.
Clear indication that we are willing to defend ourselves in this part of the world.
It's Canada's biggest ever buy on defence, but it's not the only big announcement. NATO now says it intends to buy 10 GlobalEye surveillance aircraft from Saab, made in Canada by Bombardier. It's all part of a massive rearmament underway in NATO countries.
Now, we see in Europe already a move to reintroduce conscription in a number of their militaries. And some have, the populations have enthusiastically embraced it.
It's all moving so fast that the goal of spending 2% of GDP on defence, which Canada just achieved this year, is already becoming out of date. The new target is 5%, which the Carney government says it will meet in 2034, a year ahead of NATO's target. That will entail tough choices.
The Canadian people know that the threat landscape has changed. The Canadian people understand that there are foreign interference activities going on. They understand that we need to make these investments.
A big concern here is preventing a rupture with the Trump administration that would accelerate the American turn away from NATO. But Trump already dashed those hopes, repeating his demand that the United States and not Denmark should control Greenland, a claim that threatens to tear the alliance apart. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Ankara.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has named 4 new members of the Senate. He's also dropped the nonpartisan criteria for appointments to the upper chamber. Among the new senators is Carney's own principal secretary and longtime Liberal strategist Tom Pitfield. He'll be Quebec's newest representative, along with Conservative MP Richard Martel. That appointment will trigger a future by-election in the riding of Chicoutimi-Lafleur. New Brunswick cancer researcher Dr. Rodney Willett and Manitoba chartered accountant Gita Tucker round out the list of Carney's first Senate appointments. Montreal is paying tribute to a police officer who died in the line of duty 2 weeks ago with a public memorial and police procession. Thousands of officers from across Canada came to show respect. Mohamed Lamine Benedouane was shot during a gunfight. A bystander was also killed and another police officer wounded before the gunman was shot and killed. Benedouane was 34 and the first Montreal police officer in 24 years to be killed on the job. A trip to Canada might have saved the lives of a Venezuelan couple. They were visiting their daughter in Ottawa when last month's devastating earthquakes hit. As Kimberly Molina explains, they are now experiencing struggles, stress, and loss from afar.
Carlos and Neda de Sosa look at photographs of their family. It's a difficult time for both. They had only planned to stay in Canada for a couple of months, visiting their daughter and grandchildren in Ottawa. Then, on June 24th, The twin earthquakes hit less than 200 kilometers from their hometown in Venezuela. They had just settled in to watch a World Cup match when their daughter Maria began getting calls from family, including an aunt, around Venezuela's capital, Caracas.
She was crying and she said, "Oh my God, the earth is just moved right now. It was so strong."
The level of destruction in north-central areas of the country was immense. More than 3,500 people are confirmed dead so far, and tens of thousands are still missing. Maria de Sosa's 94-year-old grandmother and a cousin were killed. She says she's devastated that she can't attend their funerals, but also relieved that her parents are safe.
I know that for now, the most important thing is that they are alive, and they are alive here with us, because if they were in Venezuela, it could be another history right now, maybe.
Now her parents plan to stay in Canada for the maximum amount of time they can, 6 months, because they say returning home to an area in severe turmoil isn't something they can do. But there is an added challenge. Both of Maria's parents have type 2 diabetes and only brought enough medication with them to last the 2 months they originally planned to be here. He says medication is expensive here, and he's also worried about being able to get a prescription. While the family works to solve the problem, they also remained focused on what is happening back home. Maria de Sosa says she almost wishes she was in Venezuela, helping her loved ones, including her brother.
I feel like I want to be there and help him and help my family. So I'm here, but my heart and my head is in Venezuela.
Kimberly Molina, CBC News, Ottawa.
The longtime leader of France's far-right party now has a chance of becoming the country's next president. Marine Le Pen has been banned from running for office for 5 years after being convicted of embezzlement. But a French court has just shortened the ban, meaning the polarizing but highly popular Le Pen can run in presidential elections next spring. There's a potential problem, though, one that would be wrapped around her ankle. Briar Stewart has more from Paris.
France's far-right figurehead Marine Le Pen was defiant in an interview she gave to a French television network this evening, giving her first reaction to the verdict that was upheld by the Court of Appeal. Now, Le Pen said she will be running for president next spring and that she couldn't envision a scenario where her name wouldn't be on the ballot. Back in 2025, Le Pen was convicted of embezzling funds from the European Parliament. So money was used to pay political staffers who were working for her National Rally Party. She has, throughout all of this, maintained her innocence. Now, the Court of Appeal today confirmed the guilty verdict, but crucially, the judges reduced the ban on her running for office, effectively allowing her to run for president next spring, but with one large caveat: she would have to wear an electronic monitoring bracelet. Now, previously, Le Pen said she would never campaign if she was wearing a bracelet, if she had to abide by restrictions that limited her ability to campaign freely, but she plans to challenge the decision today to France's highest court. Now, Le Pen is a very influential figure, very popular figure. Opinion polls show that she is currently leading, and she's been at the helm of the National Rally Party for 15 years. The party has anti-immigrant rhetoric, anti-immigrant policies, and she has really kind of painted herself and the party as being anti-establishment, and that really does fit into the narrative that she has been using as she's talking about this case, saying that she believes she is being unfairly targeted, and she maintains her innocence, which is why she says her name will be on the ballot for the presidential election next spring. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Paris.
Prince Harry is calling a London court decision a complete and obvious whitewash after a judge ruled against him in a privacy case against a British tabloid. The ruling was announced during the prince's visit to England, a trip that was already not going according to plan. Anna Cunningham reports.
Put very simply, the judge decided that there was not enough evidence to prove Prince Harry's case and that of his 6 co-claimants. They included Elton John and his husband, as well as the actress Liz Hurley. Now, they had all alleged that Associated Newspapers Limited, who publish the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, had allegedly used illegal methods such as phone hacking, invaded their privacy to gather stories to publish on them. Mr. Justice Nicklin, the judge in this case, said that the claimants failed to prove the allegations. Prince Harry's visit was not supposed to be about this court case. He is in fact here to launch a year from the day of the Invictus Games, due to take place next year in Birmingham in central England. But it's being overshadowed by the talk of this case and also a rather confusing message from Buckingham Palace. Over the weekend, the Prince's team had said that Prince Harry would be staying at Buckingham Palace, but by Monday, the Palace denied that and said he had left it too late to confirm. The Prince said he had confirmed, but that the offer had been withdrawn. All this centres on his concerns about security. Prince Harry was refused close police protection, which would have been British taxpayer funded.
You can't get much safer than a royal residence. It is guarded by police officers with firearms. It has all the technical measures that you need.
So for now, on a day that Prince Harry has lost this court case, he continues to talk about the Invictus Games, and there is little sign of that hoped-for reunion with his father, King Charles, and even possibly his brother, the Prince of Wales. Anna Cunningham, CBC News, London.
An AI-generated actor has landed its first starring role in a feature film, and it could be coming to a theater near you. Tilly Norwood was unveiled last year by a studio called Particular 6 and has become a hot-button issue in Hollywood. The CBC's Magda Gabrielasis explains why.
3 seasons and a podcast.
The film is called Misaligned. It's been described as being an AI coming-of-age story, and it will star so-called AI actor Tilly Norwood. Now, Norwood was first introduced to the world last year by Particle 6 when the company's founder said talent agencies were showing interest. Now, Particle 6 is making this movie with its AI star. Apparently, along with all the AI-ness, there will be real directors, writers, and others that will be involved in the project. Eileen van der Velden is the CEO and founder of Particle 6 and said this in a statement. Our work this year has proven something we suspected all along. AI can support premium narrative filmmaking, but only with substantial amounts of human craft skill, judgment, and time. Now, there's been plenty of backlash. Actor Emily Blunt called it scary when this made headlines last year. Then and now you have actors' unions in the US and Canada blasting the existence of this as well. Marie Kelly's ACTRA's national director said this in a statement. There is no place in our industry and no use in the humanity of art for replacing performers with synthetics. ACTRA rejects any attempt to do so. Now, I spoke to a digital media professor here in Toronto about this. He said he understands the backlash and that now moviegoers have to ask themselves some questions.
And there's maybe a question. Do we value this? Do we value the human touch, the human story? Or really is this something that just can be formalized? And we're just happy to see whatever story is on. It's just pixels on screens. And I think people are going to make their own minds up about this.
So this isn't the first time that AI has made waves on the silver screen. There have been other films that made headlines for its use lately. A fully AI film made its debut at a major film festival. Dreams of Violets, a movie about the Iranian resistance, was made completely with AI tools. So no cameras, no sets, no real people on screen. And that film was shown at this year's Tribeca Festival in New York. Magda Gabrielasis, CBC News, Toronto.
Still ahead, some parts of Manitoba have been inundated with rain, and the danger's not over yet. That's next. Stay with us.
So I know when I really like a song, if within the first 3 seconds, I'm already vibing to it.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Vibin' is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond.
It's not one person dictating what good music is, it's the community sharing what good music is.
Stream Vibin' on CBC Listen.
Some parts of Manitoba have received more rain in a week than they usually get in a month, and the damage is adding up. Homes, crops, and roads all taking a hit. Cameron McIntosh on why the threat is far from over.
Near Swan River, Manitoba, floodwaters cutting through roads, damaging bridges, and swamping homes.
Our home has been essentially destroyed.
Darlene Hunt's house flooded twice, once at the beginning of June, then again last week.
It's really heartbreaking because your whole sense of peace is missing.
Repeated rain and hailstorms followed a wet June. Some parts of southern and western Manitoba getting 100 millimeters in less than a week. In Brandon, Manitoba's second largest city, the Assiniboine River could reach record levels. The mayor says the city's dikes can handle it if the rain holds off.
Anytime you're doing any of this, like you're running a risk, running that much water through your city.
These berries were hit with hail.
All that water and hail has already caused big crop damages, including this berry farm just north of Winnipeg.
We think it's about 60% of our farm that's been affected and that has wrecked for the season.
Explain to me what we're looking at here on your field.
Well, this area would have been hit in the spring.
Jill Verway's canola field survived, but is too saturated to spray, now prone to disease. She expects big farm losses across the province.
We're a long ways away from have it in the bin, yeah.
With some roads washed out, helicopters have been used to fly essentials like insulin.
And if there was room for a couple boxes, I was driving boxes out to the airport and getting them on a chopper and getting them into communities.
Team Rubicon Canada, a veteran-led disaster response organization, is heading to areas hardest hit to do things like clear trees and help with flooded basements.
Our operating principle is always try to get out there as quickly as we possibly can once we've figured out what it is we're going to be doing.
Days after being forced from her home a second time, Hunt is bracing to go back.
I'm a little bit broken and I feel like I'm running on fumes.
Darius, Manitoba seeing a lot more rain than we are here.
That's right. We could use some more rain, especially down in the south where drought conditions continue. Fire danger has jumped up as a result of that in the ongoing hot and dry conditions. Of course, if we take a look, this is the Canadian drought map, not the BC one, so a little bit less detail, but you'll just notice drought conditions persist in the south and then extend up into the central interior as well. About 20 fires burning in BC right now, including a number in the Fraser Canyon along in the Boston Bar area especially. You'll see two of those fire perimeters here. If we zoom in, I believe the fire perimeter for the Brunswick Creek fire has not been updated today, but the fire has grown to about 1,800 hectares. This much smaller fire that doesn't have a nice name like Brunswick Creek has also grown quite significantly. This perimeter is much bigger than it was yesterday and now sits at around just shy of 700 hectares or so. Now, the fact that these fires are burning on slopes make them particularly difficult to action, and because they've grown so quickly, we have a lot of evacuation orders in place throughout the Fraser Canyon, both orders and alerts, with the possibility of those alerts being escalated should that need to be the case. Now, why might that be the case? I mean, we continue to have hot and dry conditions in the Fraser Canyon, as is typical. I mean, it's often one of the driest places in BC, often the hot spot in all of Canada, and we're going to see these strong winds gusting through. Today, they reached about 35 kilometers per hour, but tomorrow and into Thursday, we might see them reach up to 40 or 50 kilometers per hour, which would just make actioning those fires even more difficult. We also have air quality warnings in place because of all the smoke coming off of that fire up through the Chilcotin and in the lower Thompson region, including Kamloops. And that smoke over the next 24 hours is expected to continue to move in that direction, meaning improved air quality for the Fraser Valley, but worsening air quality around Kamloops. Now, temperatures are going to remain elevated over the next few days compared to normal, but they will start to come down a little bit. So from mid-30s to low 30s tomorrow, and then into Thursday and especially Friday, we see a bigger drop down below the 30s throughout the south. So a bit of improvement there, but temperatures will likely climb again through the weekend. Precipitation is really only coming to the more northern parts of the province, where we already don't have drought conditions. Still some of those places under higher fire danger, though, so hopefully some of that precipitation will help. But we also have some possible convective activity happening up in the north, as we looked at earlier in the show. A little bit of lightning activity there. That will mostly remain confined to the central and northern parts of the province tomorrow. Just a few showers possible in the south, like maybe around Cranbrook, a brief shower tomorrow early in the morning or in the afternoon. Here's our 5-day forecast for Vancouver, Janella, with some showers possible early tomorrow morning or on Saturday.
All right. Thanks so much, Darius.
Thank you.
He's one of the greatest Toronto Raptors players of all time, and now he's calling it a career. We'll have more on Kyle Lowry's retirement after the break.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox. Immerse yourself in a weekend of diverse culture and live entertainment at the Surrey Fusion Festival, July 18th to 19th. Experience over 50 pavilions, a vibrant marketplace, global flavors, and more. Details at surreyfusionfestival.ca. And ready for the ultimate summer weekend? Join CBC at the Salmon Arm Roots and Blues Festival from July 24th to 26th. Details at rootsandblues.ca.
Kyle Lowry is returning home to Toronto. The basketball star led the Toronto Raptors to an NBA championship in 2019.
And now he's signed a one-day contract to retire as a Raptor. Greg Ross tells us how Lowry's career is ending in the city he loves.
It wasn't an official contract signing, but Kyle Lowry just couldn't resist having a little fun with the moment.
I think about coming back because Kawhi came back, but I'm joking, just kidding.
Lowry has officially retired, and with this symbolic gesture, he can now say he finished his career in the city he had the most success in.
I call it home, I mean it, through and through. Everything about the city of Toronto, the country of Canada, yeah, it's done special wonders for me.
Lowry joined the Raptors in 2012. He quickly became a fan favorite.
Lowry was the reason I got into basketball and watching the Raptors.
Helped build the whole We the North mentality for that.
The Raptors would make it to the playoffs in 7 of Lowry's 9 seasons in Toronto.
The Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions.
But the crowning moment came in 2019. Lowry was an integral part of the Raptors' only NBA championship.
Winning the championship was just, probably it was the biggest basketball accomplishment in my career.
That year, he played alongside Kawhi Leonard, who is reportedly returning to the Raptors after a blockbuster trade with the LA Clippers. Leonard was there, supporting his former teammate on his big day.
Y'all know Kawhi is a special person. He's a special basketball player, and I appreciate him even coming.
Hi, everybody.
Leonard wasn't the only star to make an appearance.
Carter with his first.
Former Raptor Vince Carter called in. Now that Lowry's number 7 will join Carter's 15 in the rafters at Scotiabank Arena as the only 2 numbers retired by the Raptors.
I had to cut you off. Congratulations, man.
Lowry's legacy in this city will extend beyond his time with the Raptors. It was announced today that Lowry, along with his wife, Ayanna Cornish Lowry, have joined the ownership group of the Toronto Tempo, the city's women's basketball team that play in the WNBA. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
The World Cup has taken Canada by storm, and it has brought thousands of soccer fans to host cities.
Earlier today, the final game on Canadian soil was played here in Vancouver, and many fans say they enjoyed the experience of hosting the tournament.
Well, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive from multiple sources. We are definitely the top city of the 16 host cities, and that credit should go to everyone who made that happen. Downtown Van, the restaurants, the police service.
It was actually really fun. I honestly love it because there's so many people here. It's the summer, it's like pre-COVID, basically. I feel like COVID kind of destroyed this, and now everybody's out and about. Just take a look around, You don't see this before much, and now it's nice having this atmosphere. Honestly, it really is.
I think the city has an amazing venue, so the stadium is here, all this area, so you can gather everybody in the same place and you feel the energy.
Crazy, actually. It's been crazy because you see FIFA stuff everywhere, and you actually feel the whole energy about the World Cup and everything, so it's amazing how Vancouver did everything here.
Although the World Cup games in Vancouver are over, the tournament continues until July 19th.
You can expect Granville Street to continue to be busy. Last week, Vancouver City Council voted in favor of keeping the pedestrian-only zone open until Labor Day. It has been great to be in the city.
It's a lot of fun over there.
Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News. To keep up to date with all the latest news, you can visit our website at cbc.ca/BC or download our free CBC Gem app.
I will have your next local news at 11 o'clock right after the National. Have a great night.